And I submit as evidence of the absolutely, completely uneducated, ignorant masses, right? We're talking about what sounds beautiful to the human ear. Let's ask the uneducated, ignorant masses what sounds beautiful to the human ear. And what are they going to come up with? I hope you don't brand me as racist, because I'm less racist than Obama. I'm way, way less racist than Obama. That's a bad understatement. But who in today's society loves non-rhyming poetry besides intelligentsia, or those who have been to college, or those who put on airs, or those who make as if to be educated? Or who likes non-rhyming poetry? What do they turn on the radio when they get in to their car? What do they listen to at home at night? I have to take back what I said a minute ago. I do remember a point that I had thought of earlier, that the average man on the street does buy paintings for his home, doesn't he? There was a bit of a scandal about Thomas Kinkade, painter of light. You ever seen one of his paintings? Were you even confused about what his message was? Well, okay, I don't know what his goddamn message is, but he's got villages that are snuggled in nice little groves, and there's little lights coming out of the windows and stuff. Painter of light, okay? That's like Jan Vermeer. They're going to look back in 1,000 years. I don't have any Thomas Kinkades around. I won't acquire one because they're too popular. But they're going to look back in 1,000 years, and Thomas Kinkade is going to be one of the bright lights out of the 1900s, because he paints things that you can look at and like. The allegedly emotional paintings, Ayn Rand said, the allegedly emotional paintings of the modern artists. I don't need to say any more than that. Allegedly emotional, because you cannot get an emotion across unless you have an object to elicit the emotion. Okay? Monet started out by making the object all fuzzy. Remember the mountain and the haystacks he painted? Painted like 40 times or something. All of them were fuzzy, every single one of them crap. Later on, they're like, why do we have to paint real objects? Why can't we paint objects that we feel? So they start pointing things like balloons with eyeballs going up into the sky in a city. Is that Picasso? And then they give up on all of it. Why paint objects? I don't want to paint objects at all. You know, if we don't have to paint objects that are real, we can paint any object we can imagine. Well, then, why don't we just paint anything we can imagine and screw the objects? Welcome, Kandinsky. But the average man on the street doesn't take that, does he? He will not accept that. He will buy a Thomas Kinkade, and there was a bit of a scandal. Thomas Kinkade was very popular, and then for 6 months or a year, 18 months, the Kinkade Gallery thing pushed really, really hard, opening up franchise things, and you had to buy a minimum number of Kinkade paintings and prints, and stock the store with these. This was your absolute minimum, way above what they could sell. Opened them all up in short time, took a big cash run from it. So, you know, all you can say about that is that people who want to jump on the bandwagon of something that's popular ought to damn well make sure that they're making a good investment. Otherwise, someone else can, and then you take them to court for fraud. Sure, do that. Take them to court for fraud. Show that they sold 7,000 paintings in the first 3 years or whatever, just making these numbers up, and then after that, the number of paintings that they sold could not have ever exceeded 250,000 in any given year, just absolutely couldn't have, and yet they were putting out 250,000 prints managed. And you know, do this method in court, and the court would say, yes, that's true, this looks like a scam, and they would give you some money back. That's what the courts are for. So it's a scam that's not due to selfishness. It's short-sighted people who will get bit in the butt. And the point is that there's no scam like that going on with Picasso paintings, and there's no scam like that on the radio when you turn on the top 40. Everything rhymes, especially rap. It is like the totally uneducated part of society, like proudly, boastfully uneducated, angrily, viciously uneducated. Not by too much of a fault of their own, it's because we think that the government should take care of us. So here are these customers of government education, absolutely uneducated. And what do they create as their form of expression? What's their self-expression? non-rhyming, non-rhythmic music? No. Music that rhymes and has rhythm. It's got so much rhythm, they now make fun of white people for not being able to dance due to the lack of rhythm in them. That's rhythm in... That's nice. Look, we have to all take a really close look at E. Cummings and Kandinsky and Nazi Germany. And we need to strip from our cognitive faculties any admiration for the creation of those aberrations. All that's got to be put in a poem. Strip from our faculties of cognition any admiration for their contamination of conceptualization. It's good stuff. That's hard to find a bunch of rhyming words that are longer than several syllables. But kudos to freedom of speech. Kudos to the First Amendment that allows us the freedom of speech to put rap on the radio and to put music CDs out with country music that rhymes. God forbid. Because we can continue to enjoy the arts even though they've been corrupted by intelligentsia. And in the long run, in a free country, these idiots will be exposed for the dullards and uneducated punks that they are. And in the long run, rap will have kept as starving people alive. Low nutrition, supplements to keep them alive for when we can get back to Mozart. And that's what country music and rap have in common. They rhyme.